And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Good and Bad Ghosts, a game of wit, strategy, and bluff. Now, Good and Bad Ghosts is designed by Alex Randolph, who's been dead for quite a few years. This is a very old abstract strategy games for 2 players, and on the back they put from the makers of Rummikub. Has nothing to do with Rummikub, but just a game where you have some bad ghosts and some good ghosts. You are trying to bluff your opponent, trying to make them capture your bad ghosts, while you take one of your good ghosts and stick it in their corner. Let me show you. The game is really simple. You have 8 ghosts. They're either good ghosts with a blue dot or bad ghosts with a red dot. Each player is going to take their ghosts and set them up in the 8 spaces like this, so that you can see what your ghosts are, but your opponent cannot. So you pick any way you want. On your turn, you can move a ghost. And you can move them forward, backwards, or sideways. As you move them around, that's one of your moves that you can make. If you move into another ghost, you capture it. So if I move here, my opponent can move into me and capture my ghost. You want to capture your opponent's blue ghosts. You do not want to capture their red ghosts. That's it. There are 3 ways to win. If you capture all 4 of your opponent's blue ghosts, you win. If they capture all 4 of your red ghosts, you win. And if you manage to get a good ghost into the corner, one of those 2 corner spots of your opponent, you win. That's it. So the game isn't really much. It's literally just these ghosts. At the beginning of when you first get it, you're going to have to twist these red and blue tokens off of some sprues. So the tokens, they look like this. There's a couple of extra ones. Sometimes they fit in pretty tightly. Sometimes they fall out. And in fact, I would have to mess with these for a while, but sometimes when you move them over, they fall out. Like that one there just fell out, which is okay. I feel like they could have, in the process of making these, either painted a dot on these things or something. That felt a little bit cheap. In fact, the whole thing is a little cheap because it's literally just these ghosts. And they look okay with these red and blue dots on them, but it feels like, you know, when you open this, I almost feel a little disappointed that the game isn't nicer, I suppose. So I just say the components were okay. Now this game is a classic, right? I mean, it's been out for years. At the same time, here's where I'm at with Ghosts. I think the idea of Ghosts is interesting, and I think at this point I'll recommend it to kids. I often talk about abstract strategy games having too many rules, and they should be streamlined and simple and just easy to play. Ghosts is that. Good and Bad Ghosts is a very straightforward game. You move a piece, you capture your opponent's piece, that's it. It's a little too basic. After a while, you do the same thing. It works to this. I'm moving a piece confidently towards your corner. Am I lying? Is it a bad ghost or is it a good ghost? And you're sitting there, you know what, I'll just kill it. It's a bad ghost. Here comes the next one. Am I going to do that 4 times in a row? And so I like that concept, and it works for a couple games. And then I'm done. I feel like I've explored all the space in Good and Bad Ghosts that exists in the world. But when I play this with my kids, I have a good time. They haven't done that, and for them, it's an abstract strategy game in which they can beat Dad at. They can out-bluff me, or they can just call my bluff and win. And so it's a lot of fun. I mean, I was able to play, I think, 4 games of this in a row in a very short amount of time with one of my children, and she really liked it. We really had this good back and forth, and when she won, I think I won the first 3 games. When she won the 4th one, she felt really good, and I didn't let her win at all. I just kind of kept playing the same style, and she called my bluff and took me out. And I found this to be a fascinating little thing in that regard. I wish the component quality was better of the game overall. I wish it was a nicer game. But if you have kids and you want to play a quick one, or teach a couple kids and they can play it on their own, because that's how this game works, this is one I'd recommend. That's Good and Bad Ghosts. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Dice Tower Judgment, kid approved.